Just 95 days before the 2023 elections. The first one will be in February and the second one in March the 11th. So there are a lot of events that are happening. They're happening so fast. Well, earlier there's been controversies around whether or not there was a court ruling in respect of the voter registration and whether or not what Inec will do. So we have the Inec National Commissioner on Voter Education and Publicity, Mr. Festus Okoye. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
This place will soon become your second home. We're gradually getting there. Thank you so much for coming. And every time that we invite you that come to clarify some of these issues for Nigerians. I'm very sure you heard about a possibility, the ruling, those who went to court asking INEC to go back and continue voter registration. You heard about that, isn't it?
Yes, I'm aware, and the Commission is aware, that there was a case pending in court relating to that particular issue. The Commission is also aware that there's a possibility that a ruling or judgment or an order was made today relating to the matter. Now, the Commission has not been served with the certified true copy of such an order or such a judgment. And as part of our business rules, we do not make a determination or base our decisions on the basis of media reports. We base our decisions and make our determination based on receipt of certified true copy of a court judgment or a court order. And when we receive such an order or such a judgment, we look at what the order has empaneled or compelled us to do, and also look at the fine details of the issues involved in the particular matter. And then we go ahead, if we've been compelled to obey a court order or a judgment, we definitely obey. If we have been directed to do one or two things, we definitely do that. But in relation to this particular matter, as I pointed out, we've not been served with the certified true copy of any judgment or any order. However, I'm aware that initially there was a report to the effect that a judgment was delivered today in relation to whether the Commission has the constitutional and legal power to suspend, so to say, the continuous voters registration exercise on the 31st day of July 2022. So I'm aware of that. Secondly, I'm aware that the initial report in relation to the matter was that the Commission shall and should resume the continuous voters registration exercise. Later, the same source where the newspapers and social media picked their report updated the same report or amended the same report to the effect that the court, in fact and in law, did not direct the Commission to resume the continuous voters registration exercise. So until we get a copy of the order or the judgment, we are not in a position to make a conclusive determination on what exactly the court decided.
So, I mean, we're looking at what the reality will be. If the court asks you to resume registration and you look at your calendar.
Yes.
Realistically, because I mean, you told me the last time that November is when you will be doling out the PVCs for those who have registered from sometimes last year and June this year. Realistically, if the court asks you today to go back and register, will those registration be able to meet up 2023 election?
Well, it will be constitutionally and legally impossible for the Commission to resume the continuous voters registration exercise. But this is without prejudice to the Commission's position that we abide and obey judgments and orders from properly constituted court of law. Now, if you recall, on the 13th day of July 2022, the Honorable Justice M.O. Olajunwo of the Federal High Court had given a judgment in relation to the same issues on whether the Commission has the right and the virus to suspend the continuous voters registration exercise. And she came to the conclusion that the law and the processes and procedures allows the Commission to suspend the continuous voters registration exercise before the 90 days period provided in the law. And she made a determination and defined the word not later than in section in Section 9, subsection 6 of the Electoral Act. Now, not only that, if you also look at Section 19, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act, and also look at Section 20 of the same Electoral Act, you will see that the framers of the law were very, very deliberate in using the word not later than. This is because Section 19, subsection 1 gives the Commission the right and the power to display the voters' register for public scrutiny within a period of 7 days before 90 days to the election. Mm-hmm. So what that means is that the Commission cannot be carrying out continuous voters registration exercise and displaying the voters register at the same time for claims and objections not later than 90 days. And so for the Commission, the use of the word not later than 90 days presupposes that there are certain things and certain actions that we must take before the period of 90 days to meet up with the provisions of Section 19, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act that demands that we shall display the voters' register for claims and objections within a period of 7 days, and then for claims and objections within a period of 14 days. And if somebody is dissatisfied with the determination that has been made by a revision officer, the person can appeal to the resident electoral commissioner within a period of 7 days.
Mr. Okoye, invariably, even if the court says, Inec, go back and register Nigerians, that might be an academic exercise that may not be as useful as much for these February and March election. You might have those in your can, but they might not be useful for the 2023 election, realistically. Because I want Nigerians hope, because from all of the processes that you have outlined and what the Constitution and the Electoral Act are stipulated and your guideline has stipulated, the windows are too tight for you to say you want to register and people, because I want Nigerians realistically, hello, everyone watching tonight and thinking they've not had the opportunity to register, and so that their hopes are not raised and then is dashed. Realistically, Mr. Okoye, without the legalese and all of the whatever, anybody who registered after now might not be able to vote in 2023. That's the reality, isn't it?
Well, realistically, it will be next to impossibility for the Commission to mobilize the necessary resources to go back and start the continuous voters registration exercise.
You don't even have the budget, is it?
Yes. Secondly, realistically, it will be next to impossibility to mobilize the number of personnel required to carry out the CVR. Realistically, it will also be next to impossibility to mobilize the number of security personnel that will be required to continue the CVR. And also, realistically, it will be logistically impossible for the Commission to mobilize and go back.
That said, are you looking at a way, because things have to be done right in this country. Anybody who attains the age of 18 should be able to walk into any INEC office and register without having to come towards the election period before they register. Is INEC thinking in this line?
That's exactly what we have been doing. This CVR we are talking about was conducted over a period of 30 months. And I believe
I'm not saying you opening or closing CVR. I'm saying just like driver's license, you are 18 as stipulated by law and you can drive. You go to the nearest office of those who issue those documents, and you walk in there and you register. Shouldn't be the voting card be like that? That's the question.
Well, the Commission is working towards that direction, and realistically, that should be the direction. But as at now, the COVID-19 pandemic interrupted the processes and procedures put in place by the Commission to give a longer period within which people can carry out the CVR. But I believe that going forward, that is what the Commission should work towards, and it's doable. It's not rocket science.
Mr. Okoye, there are fears that there are still dead people, underage people, and people who are perceived to be foreigners on the INEC voter register. And CUPP in their press conference said there are plans to rig this election using those means. Can you clear the air on this?
Well, what I can confidently tell you is that this commission has been very open and transparent in our dealings with the Nigerian people and also in our dealings in relation to the 2023 general election. Now, we used our automated biometric identification system to remove double and multiple registrants. We also carried out what we call manual adjudication in removing visibly underage individuals from the voters register. Now, but the law and the constitution has asked the commission to also make this register available to the Nigerian people, for the Nigerian people to also see and determine whether there are malicious registrations and whether there are persons who are not supposed to be on the register who are on the register. The
allegation is that it may not be Inec at the center, but there are some unscrupulous staff of Inec in some part of the state in the country that are working on it. The question is that those who have been caught, what has been done to them? And how can we be certain that we do not have this kind of element in Inec in the state of the Federation?
I'm going to answer your question, but I think that what is important is that we have displayed this particular register in the 774 local government areas of the country and in the 8,809 registration areas for claims and objections. For Nigerians to assist the commission, look at the register, point out the malicious registrations, point out those who are diseased, and point out those who are not supposed to be on the register. We have also uploaded this register, the entire register, on our website, and then we provided protocols on how people can make claims and objections. And I think that that is the transparent thing to do. That is in the spirit of openness. Now, going into the 2023 general election, this commission believes that the cleaning up of the voters register is a continuous exercise, and we continue to clean up the voters register until such a time we are sure that we have reached a measure that we can be completely confident with our voters register.
And you will punish those guys who are behind the fraudulent registration?
Some of the people that have been identified are already facing proceedings before the commission.
That's what Nigerians want.
And the moment we are done with proceeding against them in accordance with our rules and regulations, if we find them culpable, definitely they will face prosecution. No doubt about that.
Though anybody who is doing that, they are enemies of our democracy and they should not go scot-free.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Mr. Festus Okoye. We'll still drag you. It might be even tomorrow, no matter. I mean, in case anything happens, thank you so much for coming tonight.
I really appreciate this opportunity.
Well,